Mbona unatupa? Nyinyi ndio mnafunga drainage system kando ya barabara. Yaani unakuja mtu heshima unatupa chupa hapa chini. Shuka uchukue chupa. Driver mchukue yeye. Wewe tafuta driver mwingine apeleke gari. Huyo atakuwa funzo kwa madereva wengine. Chukua driver mweke hapo ndani. Yaani unatupa chupa hapa ndio tumefunga mara kando. Weka yeye hapo ndani. Wewe hiyo ni exit hapo. Chukua chupa weka hapo ndani. Chukua hii, enda na hii. Chukua hii. Weka hii ndio exit yake. Yep. Kwa hala. Tabia gani mzee? Ni tabia gani? Hao wateja unawapeleka wapi? Ninawapeleka mpaka huko na all sorts. Kwa huyo mzee ndio wenyewe madereva wenzake waone yeye huyu. Unaenda all sorts. Hiyo gari sasa tunataka utafute dereva mwingine aendeshe. Tafadhali ndio msamea sitawahi msamea kwa unajua nyinyi ndio drainage system kando ya barabara mmechafua. Waambie matatu wenzako wasifanye hii mchezo. Shuka upeleka wateja, ni juu ya wateja ndio tumekusamea. Lakini wewe ni mzee mzima sasa hii nini unafanya unatupa chupa na unatuona? Kama ulikuwa na test wote uone kama tutakushika. Wateja ndio kufunga drainage system hapo.
Bunge, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BAV. This is Bunge Audio Visual. So you've seen the video of Geoffrey Mosiria, who was the man cleaning up Nairobi town, and this is a guy who has been very responsible as far as things to do with the leadership and responsibility and accountability is concerned in this nation. So let me just give you a hint or a breakdown of what actually happened after watching the video. So you all know before even start, you all know that littering and noise pollution and environmental negligence are some of the biggest issues in Nairobi today. That is why Kenya is considered among the most dirtiest countries in the in this entire continent of ours called Africa. And but one man is actually standing up to make a change, and that is a Chief Environmental Officer, that is Geoffrey Mosiria of Nairobi County, who has been on a mission to clean up the city, and his latest action has sparked debate. So without further ado, let's jump right, let's get into it. So you've seen the visuals of the busy Nairobi road, matatus in motion, and also at the scene you've been able to see Nairobi matatu driver recently found himself troubled after being caught red-handed littering, and he was seen tossing an energy drink bottle out of the vehicle by none other than Chief Geoffrey Mosiria. And guess what? I think the officer wasted no time and he had the driver arrested on the spot. You've seen the video. He took the driver, akampeleka kwa gari, and the driver was trying to apologize, but Mosiria was so reluctant because to him this is a habit that had to be stopped by any means necessary, because the driver, by the look of things, seemed to have thrown that bottle deliberately, and that wasn't an accident by the bottle being dumped at that particular place. But talking about the arrest for the littering, while this might sound very harsh, it's part of Mosiria's broader crackdown, Geoffrey Mosiria's broader crackdown on environmental violations. And however, in a surprising twist, we're able to see that the driver was later pardoned because he had passengers on board at the time of arrest. And that's a lucky break of a fair decision. And because, number one, I think the driver was just a lucky man that particular day, because Geoffrey Mosiria by then had already made the decision of arresting that guy. And I think out of his own good heart, or rather Ubuntu, and by seeing he had passengers on board and they were going to various destinations, he had to make that hard decision of pardoning this driver and allowing him to continue transporting his passengers who had already paid for their matatu fare to the various destinations that they were going to. And for me, I'll say that that's a very fair act from such kind of a person, because it could be so hard for any other person serving in a similar position to actually release you when you are found in such a serious mistake, or rather such a serious mistake, because that was the mistake that the matatu driver did was deliberate. Not that wasn't even a mistake, it was a deliberate act, because most of the people are actually driven by ignorance and arrogance. Ignorant to the point that they don't observe the rules, or rather the policies governing the environmental management sector in this particular country, and arrogant to the point that they know that it's going to be business as usual, so they don't even care of the other living organisms in our ecosystem. And we've seen so many people also dumping plastic bottles at the ocean, at the shores, at the beach. You see, that's why it has been a very, very big threat to the marine life. But at this particular moment, I think to the footage of Geoffrey Mosiria in action, we've seen previous enforcement cases on similar incidents whereby people are exuding arrogance and ignorance at the same time. So what I can say is that this isn't just about one incident. Geoffrey Mosiria has been making waves in Nairobi for his relentless fight against bad habits, taking on everything from noisy clubs and churches to reckless littering in the public spaces. And one thing I'd like to say is that let's just be honest. In a city where noise pollution is out of control, his efforts are being noticed, because we've seen Geoffrey Mosiria go to churches. We've seen him go to the churches that are usually having these funny praise and worship sessions in the late at night. Yet we've got other residents, other people living within the around the church premises. Geoffrey Mosiria boldly gets to the church and informs people in a very, very humble and polite way that we understand this is a place of worship, but at this particular moment in time, at this particular moment, you're not supposed to be playing your music so loud to the point that it's becoming a nuisance to the neighbors who are actually working and who have got a busy day tomorrow. And to other areas like clubs and pubs, he has been visiting the various clubs and pubs. We were able to see back then in Isili, he was able to visit a pub in Isili, and he had to warn the managers of the pubs or the clubs that playing music, it's good to get to have some entertainment, but in the meantime you also need to work on to look at to consider the volume of the music that you're playing to the people who actually attend the people who actually visit your premises, because at the end of the day we've got other people living around, and they need to live in a peaceful environment without necessary disturbance, especially late at night, now that clubs are usually running at night. And apart from also clubs and the churches, we've seen Geoffrey Mosiria go to other residential places where we have naughty neighbors that usually hold or rather host parties, house parties. We've seen him talking or rather advising the guys who have been reportedly hosting house parties at various estates to actually turn down, lower their volumes, or face the dire consequences of violating the policies that have been set in various residential properties. So for me, I'll simply say that Geoffrey Mosiria is one man who is actually trying his level best to ensure that he's bringing change to this country in terms of people being responsible in how they conduct themselves on a day-to-day basis. And talking about the public reaction and the screenshots on various social media platform concerning the video, we've seen many Nairobians have applauded his strict approach, calling him a leader who is finally taking action where others have failed. And his crackdown on noisy churches, clubs and residential areas has earned him a solid reputation in the county government of Nairobi. So I don't know what you guys have to say about this incident, or rather the video that you've watched, because talking about the dramatic text on screen, most of the people are actually asking themselves what is next for this man by the name Geoffrey Mosiria. So what's next for Geoffrey Mosiria? Will he continue to enforce these environmental laws strictly, or will he face backlash from those who don't agree with his approach? Because at the end of the day, we know some people usually they usually say agents of change at some point usually appear to be mad. A guy like Geoffrey Mosiria is somebody that you won't like to mess when he's around. He's going to ensure that his messages hit home by any means necessary, just to stop you from acting irresponsibly. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see their story as the stories unfold. because at the end of the day, we're also having haters, and we've got people who actually support you no matter what you do. So let's also talk about the call to action. And one thing for like to tell you guys for sure is that Nairobi needs more leaders like Geoffrey Mosiria. Apart from the only place where he stumbled yesterday at the trend at NTV, whereby he supported the president. He went against the people's people calling President Ruto different names like Kasongo, Zakaya, and many more, and said that people love the president. That's why they're giving him so many names. Apart from that place, apart from him stumbling at that particular point, what I think I can say is that Geoffrey Mosiria is a trying man, and one thing for sure is that Nairobi at the moment leads leaders like him. So I don't know, what are your thoughts, guys, on this case? Was the matatu drivers arrest fair? And do you think Mosiria is making a real impact to the Kenyans, or rather to the people who are living around him? So get to drop your opinions in the comment section below. And one thing I'd like to urge you guys is don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well for more updates on real stories shaping our society. See you in the next episode. Adios, muchachos.